So it's time for a kitchen garden tour. I'm going to start off in the greenhouse actually and just give you a quick skim through here. There's not a huge amount in here, but let's zoom in and take a look. I don't want to spend too long on this because I have shown all this stuff a few times on some previous videos, but basically got little baby sprouts, got cauliflowers all down here. I've got spring cabbages here, red cabbages here, Savoy cabbages here, and Calabrese marathon over there. And then down here, more baby Brussels sprouts. First batch of salad onions, but sown at low density so that I can harvest them as bigger onions. So, 1 inch sort of onions in early spring, mid-spring probably. Got some lettuces here, which we're just sort of harvesting towards the end of January, just when, light levels are low and production from the allotment reduces a little bit. Just a few hanging baskets full of lettuces up here. A next batch of brassicas, can't remember what they are. So we've got spring cabbages, next batch of Calabrese, next batch of Savoys, and some more kales. So pretty pleased with that. And then up here we've got some little cauliflowers, some parsley, and some wild rocket. So that's everything in here. So this is the new bed that I put in just towards the end of last year, and at this end we've got salad onions, and then interplanted in between them we've got lamb's lettuce. So the lamb's lettuce will be out by the end of February basically, and then all these salad onions will kind of grow on nicely. And then into these salad onions I'll probably end up planting red cabbages and Savoy cabbages for winter, and then same in that bed down there, which is currently garlic with salad onions at the end there. I look at the space I've given that garlic. I've been very generous. Oh well, anyway, so down this side here we've got the raspberries, and down this side here we've got blueberries and gooseberries, and they need pruning, so I need to get on with that. So this part of the garden has been incredibly underutilised really. This is our main sort of patio area in the afternoon, and so it's all full of chairs and umbrellas and stuff most of the time, but what we've got here is a nice sort of cherry tree, but we've also got all this wall which absorbs all the afternoon and evening sun, heats up really nicely, and then re-radiates that heat back to any plants that are planted next to the wall. And we haven't normally had many plants down here or down there, so I think it's a great opportunity to put probably sweet peppers all the way around here, as well as some blueberries and bits and pieces. Basically some really nice things for us to snack on while we're sitting out here in the afternoon and evening. So I'm quite excited to make a bit more use of that part of the patio and still leave plenty of space for seating here. And then this morning I've just been working my way through this strawberry bed and taking off all the yellowing leaves and the dead leaves, and I'm pretty pleased with the way it's looking now. I did sort of pop a few spare Brussels sprouts in this bed, and I'm really pleased that I did, because we've got a lovely harvest off them, or we will have when we pick them. So I might do that again. And then talking of lovely harvests to come, I've got some great Coletes here. So these are actually my furthest on Coletes. The Coletes have been really late this year, but I've got some really lovely Coletes on there and some really lovely leaves, and I can afford to leave these plants in the ground as well for quite a long time, so I'm going to get a lot of new leaf growth off these in spring. And Colette leaves in spring are absolutely fantastic. And then all the way down here we've got parsnips still to harvest. I've just cleaned all the tops up off these, and then I've just finished harvesting the parsnips out of this bed, and all these three beds were parsnips interplanted with onions, And then all the way down here we had beans, and then all the way down here we had peas, and then here I've got more salad onions and lamb's lettuce, and this bed's a little bit further on than the bed back there, planted just a little bit earlier. And then more coletes again, really nice harvest off these colette plants, so I'm really pleased with that. And what I'm going to do next year is all these beds that have got parsnips in them, so 4 beds there, I'm going to put coletes in all the way along here, and then I'm going to hang hanging baskets from this structure here all the way along with strawberries and Asian greens and lettuce and all those sorts of things. So I'm not going to have beans here next year. I'm moving the beans to the allotment for a year, and then we'll move beans and peas and stuff back here the year after. And I'll probably have beetroot in these end beds. I'm trying to create lots of little nooks and crannies to sit. So this is a lovely little area here, really sheltered from the wind in the evening. I just put my deck chair here and sit and read, and I've got a little light up here so I can see. It's really lovely on a cool evening. So this area's changed quite a lot. We used to have a raised bed here before we had the greenhouse, and another raised bed here, so I've lost 2 raised beds in order to get the greenhouse in, but actually it's created another really nice little patio area, and I can put containers on here. In fact, the containers that are going to go on here are the 2 trees that are in here at the moment. So we've got a peach tree and an apricot tree, so they're going to just sort of sit here, maybe there and there perhaps. And then we've got the grapevine running along here, a very old beloved cherry tree here which we don't want to get rid of, but hasn't got very many years left. And then I've got leeks in here, kale there, Pentland kale, a few salad onions. I don't know where they've come from, I can't even remember planting those. And then down here more salad onions interplanted with lamb's lettuce, and just the last of our outdoor beetroot. Most of our beetroot's in store. So I'm taking beds out every year. So I've taken 2 beds out here and 1 bed out on the allotment, so that's 3 beds this year. My plan is basically, just as I get older, to gradually reduce the number of beds that I've got under cultivation, and just get cleverer at gardening, so grow pretty much the same amount of food, but in ever reducing amounts of space. It just gives me a bit of a challenge. So this is the patio. That's the morning sun, and yeah, so it's pretty lovely really in the morning actually, and then it's nice and cool in the afternoon if it's a really sunny day. So we've got an apple tree here, and then all these containers here were full of the chili peppers. We had such a good harvest of chili peppers, and I think 1 or 2 of them may have had courgettes in as well. And then again we've got wall, and again same story. This gets all the morning sun till about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and so again these walls really heat up, and so they're really great for tomatoes and peppers and things like that. And so we had tomatoes climbing up here last year. We had such a lovely crop off these, and these are all the old tomato tubs, all replanted with garlic to harvest young green garlic, which we really like. Green garlic is just exactly the same as ordinary garlic, it's just you harvest it in April and May rather than in June and July, and as a result of that you can eat the whole stem. Stem doesn't sort of go dry and woody. It's really beautiful. It's like I always call it like a sweet leek. And then I've got a bit more stuff down there. I've got my water storage there, and then down here I've got all of my potatoes and 2 water storage tanks as well, and also all these trees. So we've got pear trees, apple trees, cherry trees down here. And then in the front of the house we've just got a little Potager garden, and yeah, it doesn't look very much at the moment. We've just got a bit of chard in there and a bit of kale and some celery that's just kind of hanging on. So that's it for the kitchen garden. My name's Steve. This is the Seaside Kitchen Garden and Allotment Channel. I'll see you soon.